Okay, this is something that I have to say, and I don't know why it is that it's happened, but I've lost the last two games that have been the Colts, and because it wasn't Bills, it was Colts, and the Cardinals game that I just played. I lost them both, and now I would end up having to go back and try to replay them, and ended up losing all this stuff, so I'm gonna roll with it. Colts loss was pretty bad. This loss, they just couldn't get something started. They're 1-6. Man, it is what it is. So, what to do to make up for that? I'll just. This will be more of focusing on the scouting and the other stuff kind of video. So, for our national scouts, before we do that, because I've heard, and I've seen that you click on it, it disappears. You won't be able to pick what your focus is going to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the roster, and we're going to see like where should we actually put that focus at? Where do we need it most? Because we can make the national scout focus whatever it is. Even like they're doing their thing, we can make it whatever we want it to be. And from the look of it, like I would love, because I've seen, and I'm gonna take you guys to it. But there's a quarterback and a running back that'd be pretty good. Oh yeah, released Philip Lindsay, picked up Kerryon Johnson because Philip Lindsay wasn't getting a lot of playing time. Gave Kerryon some carries. Your guys are gonna see it. Trying to help out a three-headed monster. Lindsay just not getting the play time, and he demanded a release, so we released him, and now he's looking for another team. Nico Collins has been getting great attention, great play time. Even ran away from one of the top corners in the league. He's on 21 catches. Still doesn't have 300 yards, but has 5 touchdowns. Right now, he's on pace for about 11, maybe 12 touchdowns by the end of the year, and maybe 600 to 700 yards, as he's been getting a little bit more play time each game. They say he played every game. He hasn't really played that much, or he's been more of a decoy in the first like 3 games, really, and then he's finally started getting that play time. But let's see, based on team wise, what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the guard position. We're gonna have our scout look at guards if we can. So they're gonna help out on the offensive line. Like the whole team needs help. Honestly, actually, we could go defense. We could work the defensive line, work the interior, or we go linebacker. Maybe even corner, but like there's a lot that this team needs, so it's confusing on where to go. I mean, we could go ahead and try to get another quarterback and see what happens there. Do we really want to? Because even Davis Mills isn't playing, but do we really want to throw a rookie quarterback into this situation? Like, we'll see what happens. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to pick up on offensive line. That's what we're going to have our scout go to. I'm going to ask our national scout to go and focus on the... that sucks. I know he says he's a left tackle, right tackle. But I wish like they would have it so it's just offensive tackle, offensive guard / center, or just center. Like center is okay, but offensive guard, tackle. So the strengths of this class are the left tackle. The weakness of the class is center. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have him go scout tackles, maybe somebody that we can kick inside to guard. That's what we're gonna ask him to do. And maybe like just maybe off rip, there's a left tackle that's worth like going and getting that can be put inside. Because right now we're looking at a top 5 pick for one of our picks. I can show you that in a second. We're looking at top 5. So it wouldn't hurt to get one of these guys that can go ahead and slide on the inside, maybe even go to the right side and keep Titus Howard inside, where he doesn't have to move as much and can play. Because I think he's a better guard than tackle. Won't have to move as much. I think he'll be all right there. But asking him to go scout some tackles. Oh, and the quarterback and running back that I would like to have, it's 2 people that I would love to be able to get. It's Seth Forbes, who, even though he's in the second round, I think we can still get him. His throw power isn't the best, but he can run. Like he can run. Like if he doesn't work for anything else, he's going to be able to run and keep our offense running. Could make him more of like a field general type quarterback. Somebody doesn't have to throw the ball that much to rely on the run game. He can break a sack. He can carry the ball. Now, we don't know about carrying the ball, but he can spin. He has good stamina, so he probably would end up running the ball a lot. He is the 4th quarterback on the list, but he's not going to go until, I believe he's in the 2nd round, maybe beginning of the 2nd. I got to scroll down here to go find him. Ooh, 46. I think we would have a pick at the beginning of the 2nd round where we could get him. And then somebody else was looking at was this running back out of Texas. 6 foot, 215, in-state running back, B carrying, great speed, great acceleration, all right change of direction, not the strongest, but he can jump. B carrying, B catching traffic, so I figured he's more like he's more like one of the backs that you will see in today's game, almost like a not so like a poor man's CMC, maybe a poor man's Alvin Kamara. A back that can do it all, but you don't want him getting all the touches so he can still stay fresh. So he's not going to be like the bruiser, but he'll definitely get 10 12 carries, which I'm about to start trying to really regulate that. What is relegate? I'm trying to regulate that to where each back gets about 10, maybe 15 carries and maybe 5 catches. So about 15, 20 touches a game, so they're not too exhausted with the way this stuff works. But I would love for those two to be my first 2 picks. I know everybody else needs help, but I figure we can work free agency well enough that we could still get a quarterback, still get this running back, and be all right and just be able to run the ball however it is we want to, without any kind of like pushback. So that's what that happened. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can record this game against the Rams, the 4-3 Rams, and it won't. Hopefully, it won't lose. I've deleted everything else out of the file, out of the save file. I've added an extra hard drive to make sure that none of this stuff goes. I have it going straight to that specific hard drive. I've recorded like 4 other things to that hard drive and been able to edit those for my other channel, and nothing's gone wrong. So I hope that this stuff goes right. Oh, and mock draft. It could be what we go with. It could be something else. But they would like to see the Texans go with Spencer Hickman, defensive tackle out of Clemson. Got 59% scouted on him. Got some good percentage on him. C block shed, B finesse, B hit power, A impact block, B awareness. Wouldn't be a bad pick. Would not be a bad pick. I think we have a first and a set. I'm gonna have to look at our picks now before I let y'all go, so I can try to tell y'all exactly what I want to do. Because that looks nice. So there's one. So right now our picks are 6 and 10. And then they want Enrique Sims, who just based on the way like everything looks, have the same amount scouted. He's a slower, I think he's a heavier guy. D finesse, B play rec, C stamina. F hit power, C injury. I wouldn't want to go with him immediately, as right now he is just like coming out of Georgia. I think he's more of the pure run stopper. Nobody tries a true traditional like 330, maybe 40-pound nose tackle anymore. But if you look at that compared to the first mock draft where it was left tackle and left guard at 6 and 9, now being 2 defensive tackles working on a defense. As the run game has been kind of, teams have been able to run whenever they want to, and Steve Young checks back into the NFL as a defensive end, put on some weight, lost a couple years of age. Look at that. Man's coming back rejuvenated with North Carolina this time. But the Spencer Hickman wouldn't be a bad pick. as for our draft picks, if the season were to end right now, our picks would be it would be 6, 10, and then 38. So maybe we can get the guys that we want, those top, like the top 3 guys right now on the board would be that quarterback, that running back, and that defensive tackle. And then we got to wait till the 3rd round unless we want to make some kind of trade and get another 2nd round pick. But that quarterback, running back, and that quarterback, that running back, and then the defensive tackle. And right now we have 2 first, a 2nd, a 3rd, a 4th, and a 7th. So rounds 5 and 6, we don't have any kind of picks. We could trade up into them, but I don't know. And then we have 2 1s next year, 2 2s next year. We possibly could get rid of or make a package deal for 1 and both the 2s next year to slide back into the 1st round and get another pick, or maybe slide in the second, or slide early in the 2nd round, or maybe late into the 1st, something like that. But I will go ahead and show you guys one more thing before I let you go. Wow, it's been 11 minutes. And that is, I got to go ahead and make sure that these guys, specific guys, are liked so that way you can see what's going on in my mind when it comes to these guys, because he's supposed to be a 1 to 2 talent, so I think he's going to go later. Matter of fact, let's go look for the running back, Alex Farrell. Because the quarterback isn't supposed to go until Alex Farrell is at 34. That's when he would go. The quarterback doesn't go into Seth Ford doesn't go until 46. And Spencer Hickman goes at 43. So that's not bad. We actually could get all 3 of those guys, especially if we want to trade back up to get them. But we'll see what happens when it happens. I'm sorry that I've been kind of lacking and I'm not paying enough attention. I'll be on my A game. Make sure that this stuff gets regulated. Yeah, I said that right. And yeah, I'll go ahead and record this game, and the Texans game will be the next one that you guys see. So I'll see y'all then. Thank y'all for tuning in.